Every thought we plant grows, in silence, in time. The mind is not a machine. It's a garden. It doesn't run on logic alone. It blooms on attention. What we water becomes landscape. What we neglect becomes shadow. And the soil of our awareness is always listening. Most of us forget that we're gardeners. We wake, rush, consume, react, and by nightfall, wonder why the ground inside feels dry. But every word we think, every emotion we feed, drops like a seed into the earth of the self. The question is never whether we're planting, only what we're planting. The inner garden is sacred because it's invisible. No one else can walk it. No one else can tend it for us. And yet, everything we do in the world grows from it. When our thoughts are chaotic, the garden overgrows. When we hold grudges, weeds take root. When we rush, the soil hardens. But when we return with patience, with the quiet care of presence, things begin to green again. We often think of calm as something to find, but calm is what happens when the garden is given time to breathe. It's the soft rustle of the mind untangling its own vines. No force, no pruning shears of judgment, just sunlight, water, and attention. Each thought is a seed. Some bloom into compassion, others into comparison. Some bear fruit, others thorns. Gentle awareness is what decides which stay. You can't stop thoughts from falling like rain, but you can choose which ones you water. Kindness is the gardener's most powerful tool. You don't fix a plant by yelling at it. You don't heal a garden by shaming the weeds. You nurture, observe, adjust. You learn the rhythm of growth instead of forcing it. And the mind, like nature, responds to patience more than perfection. Sometimes the richest soil is formed after the storm. When everything feels uprooted, that's when new ground appears. Pain, loss, uncertainty. They break the surface, allowing light and air to reach deeper roots. Growth is rarely graceful, but it's always honest. The seasons of the mind matter. There are days for planting, days for pruning, and days for simply resting under the shade. Winter is not failure. It's recovery. Even when nothing seems to grow, the soil is renewing itself quietly. The gardener knows that stillness is part of the cycle. We can't rush the blooming of the self. Impatience only bruises the petals. What's meant to open will open when warmth and time agree. So the practice is simple. Tend daily, trust deeply, and leave room for mystery. In the inner garden, thoughts are not enemies. They're visitors. Some stay for a season, some simply pass by. It's not our job to control them all, but to create an environment where peace can thrive. Peace doesn't arrive by pulling weeds. It arrives when sunlight outweighs shade. Presence is the gardener's sunlight. Where attention rests, life responds. Look closely, and you'll see the smallest miracles. A single calm breath after hours of noise, a kind word replacing an old habit of self-criticism, the first moment You notice gratitude growing again after a long drought of worry. That's how the mind begins to bloom. Every emotion has its own fragrance. Anger burns sharp and quick, but compassion smells like rain after heat. Joy feels like open sky, and sadness, soft, earthy, grounding, reminds us we're alive. To feel deeply is to know the texture of the soil. The garden within us doesn't need to be perfect, just tended. A single act of care can shift the entire landscape. Reading something kind, pausing before reacting, forgiving yourself for a thought you didn't mean to think. Each gesture plants a small, invisible seed of renewal. The beauty of a mind cared for is quiet, but unmistakable. You can sense it in how someone speaks, how they listen, how they occupy space without taking it. They carry an atmosphere of softness, not weakness, but balance. Their peace becomes contagious, like scent carried on wind. And when your inner garden flourishes, it changes what grows around you too, because inner calm is not selfish. It's ecological. It influences every conversation, every decision, every act of creation. It becomes a quiet ecosystem of kindness. Even weeds have something to teach. They show where attention has been missing. They reveal what grows in neglect. Pull them gently, thank them for the reminder, then plant something new in their place. A thought of patience, a breath of forgiveness, a seed of joy. Your mind becomes what you plant within it. Water it with kindness. If this moment brought you calm, stay a while. Subscribe and let this space remind you that peace, like nature, responds to care. Every day we return here to breathe, to tend the soil, to notice new growth, and to remember the garden was never lost. It was only waiting for us to return.
This is Form Within Mind, where calm takes shape.